toy.
The Pigeon Has to Go to School by Willems. Wait, don't read that title. Too late. Rats. Why do I have to go to school? I already know everything. Go on, ask me a question. Any question. Well, I know almost everything. Does school start in the morning? Because you know what I'm like in the morning. It's not pretty. I wish I was a little chick again. A little itty bitty, not going to school, baby wavy pigeon. What if I don't like school? What if I really don't like it? What if I really, really don't like it? What if? What if the teacher doesn't like pigeons? And the stuff? What about all the stuff? There is so much stuff to learn. What if I learn too much? My head might pop off. I'm scared. What will happen at school? What if there is math or numbers? Why does the alphabet have to have so many letters? Reading can be hard with one big eye. What about lunch? What will the other birds think of me? What's up with those heavy backpacks? I'm a fragile bird. Will finger paint stick to my feathers? The unknown stresses me out, dude. There should be a place to practice those things, with experts to help you, and books, and classrooms, and other birds to work and play with. Maybe a playground. Oh? That is school? Well, how am I supposed to get there anyway? What? Step aside, coming through. The pigeon has to go to school. Oh, I know. Me, miss. I know. Me, I know, miss, I know. Back to School with Mr. Men and Little Miss by Roger Hargreaves. Written and illustrated by Adam Hargreaves. Little Miss Tiny was very excited. It was her first day at school. She was so excited she woke up extra early. And she got to school so early that it was not even open when she arrived. The only person there was Little Miss Late. But she was not early. She was late. A whole term late. When everyone else got there, they had to hang their bags on their pegs. Mr. Muddle's bag was so heavy that it bent his peg. And why was it so heavy? Mr. Muddle had brought a sack full of rocks to school. A rock sack rather than a rucksack. What a muddly old muddle he is. Little Miss Tiny was looking forward to learning lots of new things at school. Her teacher was Little Miss Sunshine. Little Miss Tiny gave her an apple. But before Little Miss Sunshine could say thank you, Mr. Greedy had gobbled it up. In one bite. Crunch! Little Miss Tiny had learnt her first lesson of the day. Don't leave food within Mr. Greedy's reach. The first proper lesson of the day was writing. Little Miss Tiny very carefully copied the letters Little Miss Sunshine had written on the board. Unlike Mr. Messy. And then it was story time, read by Little Miss Chatterbox, who knew how to make a short story long. Very, very
very long. Little Miss Tiny was rather glad to escape out into the playground at break time. She had a great time on the slide and in the sandpit, and she made a friend, Mr. Small. He was almost the same size as Mr. Greedy's snack. And then it was painting time. Little Miss Sunshine asked them to paint their favourite thing. Little Miss Tiny painted a daisy. Little Miss Dotty painted lots of dots. Mr. Topsy-Turvy painted his cat. And Mr. Greedy painted a sausage. Little Miss Tiny was very happy at lunchtime. She got to sit next to Mr. Small. They had a tiny portion and a small portion to eat. Half a sausage and 5 peas each. After lunch it was show and tell. Little Miss Naughty had brought her rubber spider. Little Miss Bossy, the headmistress, was not happy. Not at all happy. Little Miss Tiny was very happy when they went on to maths. Little Miss Sunshine had written a sum on the board. "What is 2 plus 2? She asked. Little Miss Tiny was about to answer 4, but someone answered before her.
2 plus 2 equals 573.1 2/2,
cried Mr. Wrong. Oh dear, when Mr. Wrong gets something wrong, he gets it really, really wrong. And then it was time for games. Mr. Silly was their PE teacher. Nobody could work out what sport they were supposed to be playing, but it was great fun. Little Miss Tiny was rather sad when the bell rang for the end of school, and that night as she lay in bed, she remembered all the fun things she had done that day. And the next day she remembered something else. She remembered to take 2 apples to school, one for her teacher, and one for Mr. Greedy. Crunch! Splat the Cat, Back to School Splat by Rob Scotton. Splat's tail wiggled wildly with excitement as he walked to Cat's school. It was the first day of a new school year, and he could not wait to see his old friends and his teacher, Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Splat's tail dragged behind him as he walked home that afternoon. Now he was not excited at all. It was the end of the first day of a new school year, and he had already had homework. "What's wrong, Splat?" asked his little sister.
I have to do a show and tell about my summer vacation,
Splat said. "That sounds like fun," said his little sister.
"But I did so many super things, how could I choose just one thing to show?"
Splat said. Over the summer, Splat rode his bike in a very important race. "Can I come too?" asked Splat's little sister.
"Little sister's bike's not fast enough to race," Splat said.
But she tagged along anyway. And he went swimming with sharks in the ocean. "Can I come too?" asked Splat's little sister.
"Little sisters aren't strong enough to fight off sharks," Splat said.
But she tagged along anyway. Splat also played in a big soccer game. "Can I come too?" asked Splat's little sister.
"Little sisters aren't big enough to play soccer,"
Splat said. But she tagged along anyway. Splat went searching for pirate treasure. "Can I come too?" asked Splat's little sister.
"Finding treasure is too hard for little sisters,"
Splat said. But she tagged along anyway. Splat even built a rocket ship to launch into space. "Can I come too?" asked Splat's little sister.
"Not now," Splat said. "I'm counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Uh-oh, I forgot what comes next."
She tagged along anyway. 4, 3, 2, 1. "Blast off!" she said.
I had lots of adventures, Splat said to Seymour. How could I possibly choose just one thing to show?
Seymour shrugged. He didn't have any ideas. Suddenly, Splat thought of something. There was one really important thing he could show. The next day, Splat went to school with his tail wiggling wildly, and Splat was most pleased that his sister tagged along too.
I present to you my little sister.
We Don't Eat Our Classmates by Ryan T. Higgins. Penelope Rex was nervous. It's not every day a little T-Rex starts school. What are my classmates going to be like? Will they be nice? How many teeth will they have? This was very important. Penelope's mum bought her a new backpack with ponies on it. Ponies were Penelope's favourite because ponies are delicious. Penelope's dad packed her lunch of 300 tuna sandwiches and 1 apple juice. Finally, the big day came, and Penelope Rex was very surprised to find out that all her classmates were children. So she ate them, because children are delicious. Penelope Rex, said Mrs. Noodleman, we don't eat our classmates. Please spit them out at once. So she did. It was not the best way to start school. Still, Penelope was determined to have a good first day. She tried hard to make friends at recess. She finger-painted some of her best work. She even saved Griffin Emery a seat at lunch. You can sit here. Penelope started to notice everyone was making friends but her. It was lonely. When she got home, her dad asked her about her first day at school. I didn't make any friends, Penelope cried. None of the children wanted to play with me.
Penelope Rex, her father asked, did you eat your classmates?
Well, maybe sort of, just a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to make friends, said her dad, especially if you eat them. You see, Penelope, children are the same as us on the inside, just tastier. That gave Penelope a lot to think about. The next day, Penelope tried really hard. But poor Penelope, she could not stop herself from eating her classmates.
Honk. Mrs. Noodleman, Penelope ate William Momoto again.
And they were all afraid of her. Except Walter. Walter was a goldfish. So Penelope tried to make friends with him. Will you be my friend?
Eee! Cried Penelope. He's eating my finger!
Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, she lost her appetite for children. She stopped eating her classmates, even when Cece Woodman spilled barbecue sauce all over herself. And soon Penelope made friends. Found you! Want a brownie? I helped make them. Now, even when children look especially delicious, she peeks at Walter and remembers what it's like when someone tries to eat you. And Walter, the goldfish, stares right back at her and licks his lips.
Ah!
Because dinosaurs are delicious.
If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like,